Hello. It's been a while. Almost a week, actually. Reason being, it's Thanksgiving here in the United States, which means the whole family is here, which means I'm not sitting in front of the computer as much as I normally do, which is generally considered a good thing. But in this case, I couldn't stay away because I'd already put together my free agent team. So I now need to tell you that free agent team. Also, the only time I could find with all the family in town was late after going to a Lightning game. So yeah, go Lightning. And before I have to eat a ton of turkey tomorrow. So we're wedging this in, free agent team, because y'all need to know this. I've had the list burning a hole in my back pocket for a while. Everybody loves free agents because they're the cheapest possible players you can get. Without further ado, the thing. As I like to do in all my videos, lay the groundwork of what I consider a free agent at the beginning of the game. And I mean, basically always at the beginning of the game. I haven't tested this extensively, but even when you pick a different start date, it seems that all of these people, even if you kind of go backwards from July 1st or maybe even June 24th, if you kind of go backwards from that, it seems they might still be free agents. I don't know, even if you go back, that they should still be impending free agents if you have a start date past July 1st of 2019 or June 24th if you're doing like an early preseason Premier League start date, then it looks like they stay free agents, and so you'll still have the opportunity to sign them. They don't go through the trouble of like assigning them a new team. That being said, they also can get picked up pretty quickly, so don't blame me if the guy's on a different team 3 days after the save starts. These are just free agents right at the beginning of the game. You can help use to fill out your roster. And I've put together the all free agent team with a couple of extra players just in case you use a holding mid, not an attacking mid. You know what I mean. Hello, party people. I'm down here now. And since I was a goalkeeper, we're starting with goalkeepers. Emiliano Viviano, guy was the number one at Sampdoria, then he was the backup at Sporting. He's pretty old Italian, and a lot of the guys on the list are going to be pretty old because that's why they're out of the contract. But he's big and can be a backup on a world-class team, which makes him useful as a signing for basically everyone. He's also the best goalkeeper that starts the game as a free agent. He's fairly loyal, so he doesn't have any sort of negative impact in the locker room at all. When looking at the different goalkeepers that I was considering for this team, he is by far the best choice. He is also just a skilled distributor of the ball with feet and hands. You know, he's just a well-rounded, he's not world-class, but he's a well-rounded, good goalkeeper that can hang in any clubhouse. Why don't you want that? Basically, everybody could use this guy. He also, I didn't notice this when I was scouting him, he's 6 Italian caps. Raise your hand if you remember that. Advancing up the defense, we settle on the center backs. The first one of choice is a guy named Juan Forlin, Forlin. I got my, no. I don't Spanish. Juan Forlin has positives and negatives. He's technical, he's determined, he's spirited. He's going to be a good influence in the locker room. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. The downsides, he's short and he's unathletic, so you're not going to be able to raise your line too much at all. He could be exposed by a particularly large striker, but if you are playing as a skilled team and you need skilled center backs, or you just need somebody who's a good influence in the locker room and has this thorough defensive quality that Forlin can offer you, he also plays holding midfielder. But I slotted him in on the free agent team as a center back because I like to have one guy like this back there, and he is just really good for not having to pay for him. He's not that old either. I mentioned I like to have two different types of center backs. This is the other type of center back. Now I'm going to check, make sure I say this right. Eugene Kasharidi. He's a former Ukraine national. Honestly, if he's in good form, he could still get called up to the team. He was starter for Dynamo Kiev for, well, the worst part of 10 seasons. I don't know. He's huge. He's huge, and he's good at defense. He's got just great personality to fit into the locker room and resolute. And who doesn't love a guy with 18 strength? The issue, obviously, is that he's not going to be that fast. If you've got a guy that's 6'6", 190 pounds with all of these attributes and 13 or 14 pace, he's going to be one of the best center backs in the world. Kasharidi is not one of the best center backs in the world, but he is a massive hoss. If you're in a physical league, then Kasharidi is probably the type of center back that you want to sign to just be a force. On to the fullbacks, and now we're going to get a little old, but if you're talking 1 or 2 season option, Maxi Pereira is actually a free agent at the start of FM20, which is great because not only is he perfectionist, which I consider the second best personality in the game behind the ever-elusive model citizen, he has 19 determination. He's just good at everything. You have to keep an eye on the fact that the physicals are going to deteriorate. But if you are a team that sets its defense up through the middle of the park, or you're a team that allows its fullbacks to drift forward and doesn't necessarily need them to recover as quickly, like you're a good team that needs to add somebody that's capable of maintaining that level. Maxi Pereira, well, he's got 125 caps for Uruguay. This guy has been, he's been there, he's done that, he has the skill, he just doesn't have the legs anymore. So if you can put him in a position where his lack of speed and general athleticism is not going to affect him, he actually can be a fantastic player for you, help you win a trophy or two. He's just so old that really he's a 1 or 2 year loan and a guy that can help mentor some of the younger players. And I love the fact that everybody that we've talked about on this list so far is not a detriment to the locker room at all. That was right back. Now we're going to go over to left back, even though this guy can play all over the freaking place. Fabio Contrao. He used to play at Real Madrid. He's not quite as good as Maxi Pereira, but he's also not freaking old, and he has over 50 caps with the Portuguese national team, so he's got plenty of international experience. You can count on him not being overawed no matter what team he's brought into. You can see the attributes right now. He's actually a better offensive fullback than Maxi Pereira, and honestly, if I'm putting them both in direct comparison, even though they play on opposite sides of the field, I am going to go ahead and take Mr. Contrao instead of Maxi Pereira, because Contrao is a dynamic playmaking offensive player who has not lost his step and shouldn't lose his step for another 3 years or 4 years. You're not really sure. But the defense for sure is loaded with talented players and players that can, this team could probably hang in the Prem. Maybe that's an experiment I'll do. Oh, the free agent team, look at them. They're in the Premier League and I'm going to make the title in all caps and it's going to be amazing. I love clickbait. Also love dudes under 30. I love dudes under 30 in Football Manager. Clarification. Lucas Silva is the holding midfielder for my all free agents team. He's only 26, and he is just the great type of holding midfielder where you can basically have him do everything. He's not going to be a great goal scorer, but just about everything else he can do. He can play every passive center midfield role. He can hang around at the back and play really solid defense. He can move the ball for you. He's got experience. He has 8 appearances for Real Madrid. I mean, no, you probably don't know who this guy is, but he's been in really important shirts before, and he is available for you to sign. And he's only 26 years old, so he can give you, it's hard to guess, 7 years? 7 good years. Fairly professional. It's not clearly not the best you're going to see on this list, but he's also a good influence. None of these guys are going to drag you down. I wouldn't have put him on the team. Keeping with our theme, moving up into the center midfield of guys that are not in their coffin already. Alvaro Modri. He's actually 25, so we're getting younger. Somehow, Real Madrid's touched like all of these players. I don't even know how that's possible, but Modri has enough athleticism, he has enough intelligence to really allow him to take advantage of the technique that you see on the screen. He's very good, not great, is the way I would describe him. Modri is a really capable goal scorer, especially the way the long shots are working in FM20. He's somebody I would absolutely take a swing on. His first touch makes him very valuable if you're a team that is controlling in possession, or you're in a league that plays with a lot of physicality and there's a lot of gegenpressing or heavy tackling. He's going to work really well in tight spaces, and he can score you probably 4 or 5 goals per season at least, if he's not in form, from outside of the box, if you're in a formation that's using him as a mezzala or something. And I would pair him in the midfield with my boy Fran Rico, who's a little older. He's 31, and you'd never guess, but he's been with Real Madrid before. He only played with their second team, though, so I don't know if that counts as much. Rico, he's not quite the goal scorer. I know you can see that right there, but he's more cerebral. He's what I like to call a ball-moving midfielder. He's not a guy that runs with the ball particularly well. He's not a guy that scores the ball particularly well, but he's still good. How? Because he's able to receive the ball and dispatch the ball without turning it over, which is a surprisingly hard thing to do. Yeah, he's not athletic, he's not going to score, and he's not going to... His lack of athleticism obviously hurts his ability to take people on the dribble, but he's someone that when he receives the ball, he's going to do the right thing with it. He dictates tempo, and oh yeah, he's a model citizen. If you have a talented young midfielder, you want to put him in a group with Fran Rico by himself, to turn him into a model citizen, because you just don't find model citizens, and you certainly don't find them for free, where on talent alone they make the all-free agent team, and then you just sprinkle that little bit on top. It is time to take our next step up the field, though. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to have a right-sided player, a left-sided player, then an attacking midfielder, and a forward. That's just how I'm going to line up my team. It's got one extra player in it because I wanted an attacking, a central attacking, and a central holding player. We're going to start with the right-sided player. That's Nicolai Muller. Just like the adventures of pronunciation. He has 2 caps for the German national team. He is a pure right-sided player. I'm just going to stare at his attributes again because I completely forgot what the script said. Let's see. Resolute, good determination, excellent work rate, still athletic even though he's 31. I'm sure the script said that. I could just look at it, but that's less fun. Is there a way to see if he's brothers with Thomas? Is he? Good evening, Zealand. Thank you. App that I forgot the name of. They would have gotten an advertisement. Nicolai Muller. Is he brothers? Oh, he went to Western Sydney Wanderers? What a sign. What a sign. No, he's definitely not, right? It would be really obvious. Thomas Muller's that important, right? There's no way. He's just a different Muller. Okay, I'm glad we settled that. That was going to bother me. So, right-sided player, Nicolai Muller. He's not particularly technical. He's going to finish open opportunities when you give him open opportunities, but he's just a nice outside player. He works hard. If he was in a middling league, if you went to Poland, he'd be the best player in the freaking country. So he's useful to everybody. I meant the league, not, for the national team, before somebody says that's what I meant. It's not what I meant. Now to the left side. Left-sided player, my boy, CONCACAF's own Joven Jones. He's already on a team. We're going to the backup. Apparently, freaking database update. That's got to be what that was, right? He wasn't on a team last time I looked at him. This is a new, reloaded the same game, or reloaded a different game on the same database. So whatever. This is a backup guy, and the all free agent team now. Screw Joven Jones. It's Biro. My boy, Biro. He's a cut inside from the left type of player, so I'm giving you one of each. You've got a winger on the right side and a guy that can cut inside from the left. On the all free agent team, you've got a dude with a super cool name. He's also only 24. He's explosive, certainly capable of taking people on, and is able to mitigate the fact that he's not a brilliant passer because he already plays short, simple passes to just kind of hide that. Real small. Also, he doesn't have experience outside of Brazil, which is a detractor, and which is why he was listed as my number 2 guy. But he's a freak athlete, and for his size, anyways, and is a great dribbler who doesn't expose himself too much with his bad passing and just kind of takes the easiest way out. He is not quite as good, really, as anybody else on the team. But if you need somebody on the left side of the field, I don't think you're going to be able to do better than Biro. Sorry to say. It would have been Joven. You can still sign him. You just saw his attributes. He looked good. Biro's not bad, though. Ha! My striker got signed by a team, too. It must have been the database update. This guy was good. I got another one, though. One you've probably heard of. Oh, yeah. The forward's going to be Hatem Ben Arfa. And before I keep talking, I'm just going to point out that obviously some of these players might not be free agents anymore if they keep updating things the way they have been database-wise. But for now, they are. And most of them will always be. And Hatem Ben Arfa, while always a frustrating player, is very good. He's not a pure forward, which I almost like better. He's got superb technique and flair, and he takes people on, and he's an exciting guy to watch. Not a tremendous influence in the locker room, not detrimental, but he doesn't have particularly high determination. By far the lowest on my entire team, and he's a little polarizing. It's kind of the reason I didn't include him, but we're talking about a guy who's played for France. They kind of just won the World Cup, so he's okay. At the very least, he'll provide you some serious attacking depth, and a guy that is capable of completely, utterly turning a game around off the bench, which is where I would like to use him from. For great teams, obviously. He can also be a superstar who overwhelms people with his technique and flair in lesser leagues. And my attacking midfielder was also taken. Why I was doing the attacking midfielder last, I don't even know. But Keisuke Honda's, yeah, He's not available anymore. On to the next. Haha! Here's my next attacking midfielder, Samu. You might be wondering why this guy has slipped his way into the attacking midfield spot on the all-free agent team. Well, 1, you can thank the database updates. 2, I love his name. 3, I mean, he's good. He's probably the worst player on the all-free agent first team, but he's good. And he also offers you this. A different player who can also play as a right wing. Not particularly suited for it, and he's not necessarily a big-time goal scorer, but he is certainly someone you can plug in, and he can play well for pretty much any team in the world. He's probably 2.5 stars at a world-class level, which, I mean, you don't have to pay anything for him. He's only 28 years old. It's hard for me to criticize somebody on the all-free agent team, right? Because I picked them to be on the all-free agent team. They are free, so it's a great deal all over the place. But Samu, he has his limitations and shouldn't necessarily be relied upon to carry a team, and is probably better suited at higher levels to be playing out wide to the right and just using his technique and passing in heavy possession systems. But if you are in a middle league and you're going to be able to shell out enough money to get Samu, like say you're playing in Norway. You're playing in Norway and you need a real difference maker. Well, Samu can be a real difference maker at that level. And I'll hold it against me if he all of a sudden goes in a whole poor vein of form and doesn't do anything for you in Norway. It just sounds right. You can see his attributes. Make an educated decision. You might have noticed that is a complete first team, but I'm going to throw a couple of other free agents on you that I believe are going to help you, and I would definitely have on the bench of the all-free agent team. 1 is a guy who can play all 3 backline positions. If you are in a limited substitution league or a league where you just need a little defensive depth, this guy can play every defensive position well enough. He's really balanced all the way across the board. He's not going to make a difference for you. His name's Nemanja Pejunovic, but he's free. And he's got a couple of Serbian caps and plenty of experience, and he's not going to be a detriment to you. He's got enough size to play in the middle. He's got enough speed and footedness to play on the outsides in either direction. Very helpful player to just know exists. So now you know that he exists. For those that were looking for a left-sided player with a left foot, this is one, Ivan Strinic. He's also listed as other players I should talk about, though, because he's really just kind of another great player that is just happens to be a free agent. He's got 49 caps for the Croatian national team. They just went to a World Cup final. So using very simple deduction, this guy's good, has high determination, very capable offensively, which is why he can step forward to left midfield. I don't really, at 31, you can't retrain him to be a left wing, like a left attacking midfielder. But he can play on the left side of the field for you if you are playing like a basic 4-4-2 or looking to just loose a complete wing back on attack. Strinic, free. Then the last guy I want to make you aware of that is free, and you just need a backup. You just need a guy who can play a lot of positions, who you've heard of, just going to help you out. Michael Crondelli's free. He isn't going to be alive for long, but he's free. Plays a lot of positions, and he's not bad. He's slow, but he's not bad. And that's it. I have to do some sort of breathing technique to prepare my stomach for the amount of food that I'm going to consume tomorrow for a holiday that doesn't make any sense in the United States. I'm looking forward to it, though. Families in town. I hope this helped you. Hope this video was enjoyable. If you did enjoy it, I would be really appreciative if you liked the video and then subscribe to the channel, and the subscribing to the channel could help you because we try and release fun, informative videos like this, looking to go into tactics guides soon. Since this is the part of the video where I always kind of tell you what I'm gonna do in the future, we're looking to do that. I also stream on Twitch. You can check the link out below, and if that's not there enough and you really just want to work slowly, you can type in the link that I'm making appear on the screen right now. That also will work. You can't click on it, though. I'm sorry, we're not cool enough. But that's where you need to go on Twitch. You can also go into the search bar. I stream 4 days a week. If you want to come hang out, I'm usually playing Football Manager. We can just talk about your save, my save, other people's saves. Be kind of weird, but we can do it. I got other links down there like Twitter and stuff. You want to hear what's going through my mind, but that's about it. I will see you guys in the next video. You have a happy Thanksgiving, whatever country you're in. I don't care. Have a happy Thanksgiving. It's good to talk to you.